Today we're recycling some crash with Vogue Paris, using iPhone photos for Vogue Italia, and diving into the deep end with Vogue China. My name is Marco, welcome to the Model Gene, and if you're ready to dissect this month's covers, hit that like button and let's get started on August's Battle of the Covers. Starting off with Vogue US, we have an ill-timed cover of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, who at the time of this shoot, her husband still hadn't given up his re-election bid. These political covers are always tricky because the agenda of portraying a certain type of persona is so overpowering, it impedes the artistry of the photographer. The positives of the cover are that the hair and makeup are nice, towing the line of a little glamour but still approachable, her skin is not over-retouched, and the lighting is very flattering. Beyond that, it's super boring and conservative. The digital cover of Vogue US is of sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson, which looks like a Nike campaign rather than a Vogue cover. I would have loved to see her in motion rather than just the billowing fabric. It would have been more interesting on the cover. Suki Waterhouse's British Vogue cover by Colin Dodgson is filtered to be so orange, I have trouble looking at it. I've done a few color adjustments, and if the image was more like this, I would have been on board. Here we have more separation from the subject and the background, and we can better appreciate the texture of the coat. It is still not my favorite cover, but I'm not expecting much from British Vogue these days. The digital cover of British Vogue looks like an e-com shot. This pistachio-colored background doesn't flatter the pink and red of her clothes. At least with a blue background, it would have been a nod to the Union Jack. Karen Elson's cover of Vogue Italia is normcore shot on iPhone looking garbage without any redeeming qualities. I love Karen Elson, but I hate this cover. The people in the background are pulling focus. The more I look at the cover, the more I hate it. This is easily my least favorite cover of the month. Vogue France's cover of is from the Mert and Marcus shoot of Vogue US for June. So as much as I hate seeing that on a cover, I hate even more the idea of shooting something for one magazine and then using one of the images for another magazine months later, especially for one of the main Vogues. Vogue ESPAña's cover of Lulu Tenney had the potential to be great, but the clash of colors is what soured my opinion on it. Looking at the photo in black and white, you can appreciate the dynamic pose, the mix of tones and textures, all the interesting angles of the image, but in color, everything is fighting. This wig also works much better in black and white than it does in a color image. My eye was shaped by the black and white photography of artists like Peter Lindbergh, so I really don't mind a cover without color when it is appropriate, and here is one of those cases. Vogue Brazil has two covers of one of my all-time favorites, Raquel Zimmermann, shot by Colls, and I especially love the black and white cover. For all the reasons why I thought Vogue ESPAña's cover should have been in black and white, here we are reaping the rewards. Raquel is modeling from her fingertips to her toes, and I love her flowing curly hair in the wind. If this were in color, the mix of textures very easily could have overwhelmed the image, but this allows for balance. The portrait is also very beautiful, it has very painterly quality, and I love the restraint in the makeup. Vogue Brazil, another great month of covers from you. Vogue China's covers with Xiao Wen Ju by Leslie Zhang are bold, graphic, with this image being my favorite cover of the month. Although it might not be apparent at first glance, this is also an Olympic-themed cover when you dig a bit deeper. She is wearing a Nike swim cap, and the cover is utilizing the colors of the Olympic rings. I applaud the creativity of the team here, turning the fashion up all the way with just the tiniest bit of sports. Despite the potentially overwhelming nature of the garment, Xiao Wen Ju is not being swallowed, and we still manage to get a silhouette from her. Great job, Vogue China, you are really taking the gold on this one. V Magazine's covers of Bombshells in the Wild is an interesting one. For this group shot, I don't understand the poorly masked V. It doesn't really make sense why they would do it like this, rather than the pink being behind the subjects fully in these areas. The casting is strange to me as well. Kate Upton was one of those people who got famous when the fashion industry started panicking about Instagram followers. Nothing about her would have warranted her success, and now, after all these years, I don't get it. Excuse my ignorance, but I do not know who this brunette model is. Maybe she is as famous as Kate Upton or Candace Swanepoel, but I don't think that's the case. I do actually like her solo cover the best. The purple eyeshadow looks great, and the harsh downlighting works well with her features. I'm not crazy about either of the other solo shots, but I will say that the colors across all these images really pop, feel very V Magazine, so I think that is a success. The weirdest cover is this one of Isabelle Fontana and Maria Klauman, which has zero relevance with the other covers and in general feels like a styling mess. Gothic brothel meets Italian funeral. And that is where today's review is going to end. But for more about the fashion industry, check out the links below. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the covers this month, and be sure to subscribe to find out who comes out on top next month in the battle of the covers.